Good morning, good morning. This is Leaning In with Ann, walk and talk that I do every weekday morning. I'm Ann Ferguson, and what am I today? Today, I'm a mom. Today, I'm a mentor. Today, I am somebody who suffers from seasonal affective disorder. You know, we all have, when you say that, give the who are you or about you, it's like, how can you really do that? Like, there's too many things about you, right? So, I am affected by the light and about how much light I get and what that does to my body. So we're going to talk about that and what I'm trying to do to keep myself up, because I was sinking this weekend. Holy moly. We're going to talk about today what we can do about the light deficit that we have going on because it's winter. All right, my friends. Now, let's talk about seasonal affective disorder. Man. So, those of you who don't know, seasonal affective disorder is when you really power down. Like, you want to hibernate. Everybody shut up and leave me alone. Isolate. You feel down. You feel alone, like nobody's around you. And there's a depression that kicks in. And it's really, really centered around how much light you're getting. And it's because we're at the winter solstice. Some people, when they don't have enough light, sink. I happen to be one of them. I found out an interesting thing when I was doing cancer treatment. So those of you who don't know, I had triple negative breast cancer, and there was a lot of testing. And we did some genetic testing, and one of the things we found is that I actually have a gene that makes it so that I do not absorb vitamin D well from food. Great from the sun, not from food. And I can take vitamin D supplements, but it's not quite the same. And I do, especially in winter. So I know that I've got to be in light or I sink. Now here's what's interesting. Yesterday, totally was sinking. At first it was just physically. So this is what happens. Physically, bleh, tired. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to get up. I got up. I got going. And then midday, it was just like, I'm done. So I actually slept so that I could possibly get up and get going the rest of the day. But when I got up, my mood was really low. And that's like you just can't grab cheer. You can't grab happiness. Like, you know it's there, but there's a numb thing to it, right? And so having that long enough for enough days, depression really kicks in. And your brain starts doing all sorts of crazy crap. Like, here's one thing I know. When I'm in a depressed state, or when the seasonal affective disorder has got me, the normal things that I would feel about a situation, like somebody's done something, or I'm not happy, or I'm scared about something, it like magnifies and multiplies. Whatever the negative emotion is, bam, it's huge. And I was starting to feel that yesterday. Like, there was some annoyance about this Christmas tree. Oh my gosh, totally sinking. Totally sinking. All the woes, all the stuff. And while annoying, because of some of the things that have gone on about our Christmas trees in the past, the level of intensity in which I was feeling was not completely compatible to what was happening in the moment. That means depression's kicking in. Now, I am really, really, really sensitive to depression. And what I mean by that is I'm really, really sensitive to my moods. I know that nobody can manage this but me. Now, there can be people around who can keep the environment safe and supportive. For sure. Like, if I say, hey, I'm in that sinking kind of thing, I would just like to have people around me, because what I want to do is isolate. I just want to get alone. But I just need you to know I'm not really up right now, but I just need people around me, right? I am the only one that can manage this. Like I said, I can let people know that it's happening, but it's mine to do the things that I need to do, right? Okay, so if it's light deprivation, I will tell you, I hate being cold. I really don't like being cold. It is 20-something degrees right now. My fingertips are stinging because of the cold. And what I've noticed is that because I'm out here, my mood has been better and I haven't sunk. Now, last week, I wasn't feeling good on Tuesday, so I didn't come out. Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't come out because of the training. Friday, I came out, wasn't quite enough. And I started to sink. So I am gonna, after I get done talking to you all, I'm gonna stick my hands in my pockets. I might even go to the bathroom. They've got one of those heaters, you know, the blow dryer things. I'm gonna get my fingers warm and I'm gonna keep my hands in my pocket. I'm gonna keep walking and I'm gonna keep absorbing the sunlight. Now, only I can do that because this is my body. Now, let me tell you what the problem is. Getting your freaking butt out so that you can do something good for yourself. It is so hard. So one of the things that I do to deal with depression is I do one thing every day that I don't want to do. Because the I don't want is a real. It's like I don't want to eat. I don't want to do anything that has to do with responsibility. I don't want to enlighten myself. I don't want to be nice to you. I don't want to. So one strategy, there's one. Do something every day that you don't want to do. Especially something that you know is gonna lift you up. Because there's this really weird thing that happens like, yeah, but I don't want to be lifted up. Like you do, but you don't. I don't want to be lifted up. I kind of like my sorrow. Kind of get into this weird mode about that. Like I felt it yesterday. I felt the aloneness, felt the isolation, and I kind of didn't want to even go look at when the last time I felt cheerful. I just want to sit in my isolation. I fell asleep about 9 o'clock in front of the TV. My husband and I usually go up together to go to sleep. I went up and I just went, screw it, I'm just going to bed. So I slept from 10 till about 7, and I had taken a nap. Like I should have been up till 1. But do one thing that you don't want to do. So my one thing today is to be out here and letting light come into my body. There's this really weird thing that happens. So you can do this too. You don't have to be outside. But you can sit next to a window where light is pouring in. It's not just light, it's sun. So what I know is that when the light comes into my eye this direction, like right now, like it's just right there, it's coming in this way, there is something that happens in my brain where I feel joy. It's the weirdest thing. It happens every single time. This angle right here with it coming in sideways, it triggers something happy in me. So there have been times where I've just sat in front of the window. I will tell you, my favorite day of the entire year is winter solstice. Why? Because the light's coming back. The big thing is to don't make yourself wrong for it. Because when we make ourselves wrong for feeling down and depressed, when we're supposed to have holiday cheer and supposed to feel loving and supposed to feel blah, 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 what we do is we introduce shame and we introduce judgment. And you cannot think your way through shame and judgment. See, I just stay out of judgment. Why? You guys will hear me say this over and over and over. Curiosity kills judgment. If I stay curious, I do not judge myself. It's awesome. So here's one thing that is only you can do to support yourself in seasonal affective disorder, and that is don't isolate. Guys, I did not want to get on live today, and look at what's happening. Because I am, there are new resources. There are things that are coming. I'm so excited about that. All right. Everybody who does not suffer from seasonal affective disorder and has a loved one who does, can I just take just a minute to tell you what to do? They are not seeking attention. They are physiologically struggling. It's kind of like having a cold. What would you do if somebody were feverish and sick? Besides stay away from them. When you're loving and you're in there like a child, right? I would hold my feverish babies. I wouldn't run around and not have them. So one of the biggest things that happened for me to just kind of lift this morning was my husband rolled over and snuggled me. Touch. Touch helps. It's that connection. And I didn't feel loving. I didn't feel super connected to him. But I was aware of somebody seeing me. That's the big thing. Is not just, I see you as a human being who's running around, do you want some lunch? But the acknowledgement. Hey, I see that you are struggling right now. And curiosity kills judgment. So if you're judging them at all for their I don't want us, they don't want to get up, they don't want to bathe, they don't want to make any decent food, they don't want to, and you start to judge that. Believe me, the biggest I don't want to is I don't want to feel this way. So stay curious. Don't assume you know what they need. Don't say, well, if you would just blah, 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 I heard on this Facebook Live that you need to blah, 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 right? Nope. What you do is you see them and you let them know that you see them and say, I see you today. It's kind of like Avatar. I watched Avatar so many dang times that I see you, that they touch, they look at each other and they say, I see you. Do you guys know that means so much more to me than I love you? I see you. Okay, I see you're struggling. What would you love from me today? Or right now, what would you love for me to do? Is there, and they'll say, I don't know. But you just asking sometimes is enough. You say, okay, I hear that you don't know. When you figure that out, will you let me know? Look, I'm gonna stay in the space with you. And honestly, what happens in a person's brain when they're in this place is they feel so heavy and so dark that the reason why they want to isolate is because they don't want to give you the heavy. It's not that they don't want to be around. It's like, I don't want to burden you. I don't want to bring you down into that same place that I'm in. And so if you can reassure and say, hey, look, I actually don't experience this. And I'm not going to take on your heavy. I promise you that. I can handle it. And I can just sit here. What would you love? Would you love to watch a funny movie? Would you love to have a movie where you cry? Would you love popcorn? What would you love? Now, I will tell you that I know that my body craves sugar at this point because it's looking for energy. The sugar causes more depression. So, there are some treats that don't have high sugar that make me feel like when you are depressed, you don't have any energy to do all the things that you need to do to help yourself be on point. Like all that goal setting, all that high achievement stuff, it just oppresses you, even the thought. And so it's not about telling them, look, you shouldn't be having sugar. What would be helpful is this. Go and get a bag of frozen berries and some mango. Get a can of coconut milk, some straight pineapple juice, pour it into a blender. Put some berries in, put the coconut milk in, put a little bit of that pineapple juice or guava, that works too, to just sweeten it a little bit and blend that up. It's kind of like a icy little treat. And it's something that satisfies the sweet tooth without putting the sugar into the body. Find recipes that are treats that don't have a lot of sugar and say, I made something for you. I see you. Don't make them wrong for needing sugar. Just help them do what is the best for them. I made this for you. I'm curious if you like it. Would you like a treat? Keep it on hand so that there's something to grab that is treat-like, that doesn't make them sink. Man, I crave chocolate so much during this period of time. I crave sugars. I crave sleep. If they need to sleep, you just go, hey babe, I've got it. Do you need to go take a nap a little bit? One thing I did today to get myself out of bed, because I was not going to get up and come, is that I have a meditation that, for whatever reason, it's like voodoo witchcraft. This particular thing, it's got the right kind of beats that put you in kind of that trance kind of state, and then pulls you back out. It's a 30-minute meditation, and when I come out of it, my mood is better every time. So I had already been asleep. I woke up feeling like crap. I grabbed my headphones, turned on that meditation, and let myself sleep for another half hour while I was listening. And when I came up, I was able to get up out of bed. So the big thing, you can find the resources and then ask, I have something. I don't know if it'll help or not. Would you be willing to just try it once and then you can tell me no? Or here's the thing, I heard it'll help, and walk away. Or is there something I can help with? This is what I know. Would you be willing to try it? The big part is just helping. If you've got somebody with a seasonal affective disorder, see them. Just see them. Hey, I'm going to take you out to lunch. So you don't have to cook today. Because see, there's no energy. So you don't have to cook. Your body is craving light, and you're like a plant, and you're wilting. That's what's happening. You're not wrong. You're not bad. You're not weak. You're not a burden. Please say that to them. You are not a burden. You just got a thing. So I'm going to help you with your thing. If you can do that, my friends, what a gift you would be to somebody struggling with a seasonal affective disorder. I'm starting to warm up. My fingers are starting to warm up too. That's fun. And I am just going to keep going and going and going around. I'm going to get the light that I need from this walk. And I'm going to charge into my day. So thank you guys for being here. Share this. If you know of somebody who's either struggling with this, or you know somebody who has somebody who's struggling with this, please share. And let's just help each other. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day, all.